Welcome back to Let's Talk Politics on NaijaAnchorNews, where we examine the stories behind today's political movement and look into the past to understand the present. Today, we'll be diving into the roots of one of Nigeria's most divisive issues, the Biafran struggle for independence. While many know about the modern-day Biafra agitation, fewer people understand the tragedy that sparked it over half a century. Let's rewind to the late 1960s, a time when Nigeria, newly independent and finding its footing, was facing political upheaval. At the time, Nigerian soldiers from across regions fought together to defend a united Nigeria. Among them were Igbo soldiers who, like their counterparts from other parts of the country, believed in the shared cause of protecting their homeland. But a tragic and brutal betrayal would soon change everything. In 1966, a group of soldiers from northern Nigeria carried out a deadly coup. Their primary targets, the Igbo officers who had served side by side with them. But this wasn't just an act of sudden violence, it was a calculated strategy. The northern soldiers, who had long felt sidelined by the fact that over 56% of Nigerian high-ranking military officers were Igbos. While many Igbo officers had risen through merit and education, many of the northern soldiers did not have the same educational background and saw no way to read these positions otherwise. For them, the coup was a ruthless way to clear a path to power and secure those high-ranking positions for themselves. This sudden turn of violence shocked the nation. The coup not only eliminated many prominent Igbo soldiers, but also left the entire Igbo community feeling profoundly betrayed. Imagine the anguish. Igbo men who had dedicated their lives to the Nigerian cause suddenly hunted down by the very people they had considered comrades. This wasn't just a military operation, it was a message that Igbos could never ever be fully part of the Nigerian project. In the months that followed, things worsened. Attacks spread to Igbo civilians living in northern Nigeria. Thousands of Igbo men, women, and children were brutally slaughtered in an anti-Igbo program with no protection from the state. The violence was swift, severe, and unrestrained. Those who survived the massacre fled back to the eastern region, carrying with them stories of horror and heartbreak. For the Igbos, the message was clear: they were not safe in Nigeria.
So depressed, I don't even know where to run. I have no idea which direction to go. My hometown is behind the enemy line now. I have nowhere to go.
This betrayal and the continued violence led Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the Eastern Region's military governor, to take a stand. As an Igbo leader, he couldn't ignore the cries of his people, and so, in 1967, he declared the Independent Republic of Biafra, a nation where Igbos can live without the fear of persecution, where they could govern themselves and protect their own. The creation of Biafra was, at its core, a response to brutal betrayal. For Ojukwu and the Igbo people, the logic was simple. Why should we continue to belong to a nation where their lives and dignity were disregarded? Why stay in a country where they were seen as expandables, despite their loyalty and sacrifices? Of course, the Nigerian government did not accept Biafra's secession, leading to a brutal civil war that lasted from 1967 to 1970. This war claimed over 1 million lives, most of them civilians who perished from starvation as Nigeria blockaded Biafra in a calculated effort to bring it to its knees. The war ended in defeat for Biafra, but the scars remain, and the memories of betrayal still linger in the hearts of many Igbos to this day. Today, the push for a Biafran state has re-emerged, especially with groups like the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu. To many young Igbos, Biafra is not just a call for independence, it's a cry for justice that was denied to the grandparents, a response to a nation that still appears unwilling to treat them as equals. As we look back, it's worth asking, was the betrayal of Igbo soldiers by the northern counterparts the beginning of a divide that could never be healed? Had the Nigerian government taken steps to protect the Igbo citizen back in 1960s, would the idea of Biafra have ever been born? Or is it inevitable that the grievance of one group, when ignored and dismissed, will someday explode into a call for independence? The story of Biafra is not just history. It's a reminder of the dangers of neglecting the safety and dignity of any group within a nation. As long as people feel like second-class citizens, the idea of Biafra will live on. For Nigeria to move forward, we must learn from this chapter in our history and strive to create a country where every Nigerian, regardless of ethnicity, feels safe, valued, and represented. So viewers, what do you think? Was the spark of Biafra ignited in Betrayal, and if so, has the Nigerian government done enough to heal those wounds? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's talk politics and keep this essential conversation alive.